gonna be the Black Feather as the last pick here. What do you think? Do you like it?
I'm
calculating in his head. He's the beautiful mind working.
Yeah, no, I do feel like there's something that can work for Cerberus. I have a feeling that Ringo will be going with the CP. But overall, like it's gonna come down to this early game and how much of an aggression that they can push.
And
all right, yeah, I'm gonna stick with Cerberus.
Okay. No, I think they have a high potential to win with this lineup across the board.
Only because they have that fortress.
Only because the fortress. But I mean, look at that. You got your Glaive, you got your Sky, you got your Arden. They have massive control in these fights. Potentially 3 stuns coming out of that. I don't know. I just feel that Team Secret are going to have an advantage when it comes to control, when it comes to damage in these fights. But I don't know. Gankstars Cerberus, these guys are all-star players. So let's see how it all shakes out. We've loaded into the fold, so let's go ahead and throw it over to casters. Action Jackson and Scoundrel, guys. What do you guys have to say about it?
Well, I'm sure there's going to be a lot to say. It's a best of 5, ladies and gentlemen, for the finals of the second qualifier, so lots of games coming up. I'm excited to see if we can get to that 5th game in the series, because if there's 2 teams who could do it, it's these guys. Team Secret having the best performance in terms of qualifiers that they've had in a long time in this qualifier. They're looking like they're on a hot streak. Cerberus off the back of winning the first qualifiers, and actually their debut in the European VGL have been so strong, so it really could go either way. My bet is personally with Cerberus. Scoundrel, where do your thoughts lie?
I think if it's... Yeah, I'm going to be on your side with this one. I think Cerberus have just looked very clean, almost unstoppable in most situations, and I do feel like Team Secret have had their moments of weakness. Cerberus just seem on another level. Leon, he is a prodigy at this game, in my opinion. He is just a absolute beast when it comes to playing the map and also knowing when and where to be aggressive. So I'm looking forward to seeing this. I think it'll be a close series though, and like you said, if any team's going to take this to 5 games, I think it will be both Team Secret and Gankstars. Techno JJ.
Very nice afterburn, gets Techno JJ just close enough to Qualifier to pick up this first blood of the qualifier finals. Team Secret right out of the gate, so looking pretty darn strong, and also worth noting, this is a composition they have played before, and it did so much work. So they certainly have that going for them in this game. Bit of a skirmish kicking off here, but Gankstars Cerberus, they're just going to play it safe and back off.
I feel like it's a great anti-Black Feather composition as well. Black Feather is so good against champions like Vox, Scarf, Ringo, anybody that is low mobility and allows him to just get on top and... Whoa!
Where'd Leon go? He was there a second ago.
Okay, I've turned Leon's Young Prodigy title into an upcoming magician because his disappearing act is out of this world. I think Team Secret have played a composition that is particularly good at dealing with Black Feather. Black Feather doesn't realistically want to get onto either Glaive or Arden, and he's going to find it difficult to get on top of Sky. So, this is a very clever composition coming out from Team Secret here. So they do have the opportunity to, I think, get off to a really good start and take this game by the scruff of the neck.
I've got to agree with you. Well, already we're seeing a 400 gold lead on the side of Team Secret, picking up a little bit more right now too. Emmerking quite low, which is going to give a good opportunity for Team Secret to come in here and go for the invade. Leon is going to avoid getting in too bad a position, but look at that. Majestic holds the afterburn just long enough to make it a decent knockback. Instead of saving Leon completely there, is going to force him out of the jungle. Emmerking might want to be careful about sticking in this bush. Mowgli going to spot him out, jump forward with the blood for blood, so much damage. But this time Qualifier and Majestic just a little bit too far back to capitalize. So certainly early game pressure going the way of Team Secret, but Gankstars are doing a decent job of mitigating it.
So this is going to be the same composition I think we saw from Gankstars earlier on. I'm pretty sure it's Gankstars that ran this composition, where you have the Crystal Power Ringo, and you have basically, obviously, Black Feather, who realistically is only played as weapon power, if you're sane. Mowgli, just going to go aggressive onto Techno. And we saw them run it earlier, and if that Hellfire Brew does hit, it just means that it's so much easier for Black Feather to blow someone up. But like I said, I do think Team Secret's composition is particularly geared at dealing with a Black Feather. It does make his targeting and his ability to lock someone down a little bit more difficult, because Sky is so mobile, he will find it difficult to deal with her. And then obviously going toe-to-toe, especially in the early game with that early game dominance that Glaive provides. Blackfeather's not going to be in a good position. Techno JJ.
Ooh, yeah, very nice choice of target there from Majestic, going for the one that matters. They pick up the kill. Emmer King just barely able to get out of there off the back of that kill, but Team Secret finding their third in the match, doing a good job of continuing to apply pressure here. They might even be looking to dive Emmer King. You can see the positioning coming across. Emmer King very, very low, but Qualifier took a bit of a detour there, not going to be immediately in position to go for the forward barrage, and therefore Emmer King getting away on a sliver of health. Team Secret looking to steal away some back camps now, and Leon, given how low he is, probably not going to be able to contest that.
Take note, Europe. This is how you play Glaive in the early game.
Oh, Leon! Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, I think unfortunate is definitely the word I would describe that with. But no, take note, Europe. This is how you play Glaive in the early game. You just be as aggressive as possible. Make sure you're using that afterburn to its maximum capability, and you just look for ganks over and over again. You notice that Majestic has spent very little time in lane. He's actually spent most of his time roaming around as a 3, looking as a roaming Team Secret gank squad, and it's working out incredibly well. And this is how you should look to play with Glaive. You want to make use of the fact that he is so dominant in the early game. And you can see it doesn't really work the same way when you're a Blackfeather.
Oh, he's going for Emmer King. Nearly picked up Leon there, actually, but Majestic has to back away and bail out. Too much damage coming across from Gankstars Cerberus with all 3 members there. Qualifier, he's just farming up for the time being. If he'd been there, that probably would have looked pretty different.
Absolutely. Secret now. They had that been 6 on the Blackfeather, that would have been Majestic going down. I'm absolutely certain of it. But for the meantime, he's going to heal up using that big eulogies. They're going to Techno here. Done lands.
Damage.
They're going to go for it. Whoa!
That could be a kill. Mowgli finds it, diving in with the Vanguard, keeping Majestic in range to put the hurt down. Team Secret find their 5th kill now. Coming close to that 1 kill a minute mark. Not quite there, but you wouldn't expect that kind of dominance against a team like Gankstars Cerberus. Qualifier now making his way into the lane. Take note, Qualifier, level 7 right now, doing a great job of farming up that jungle. Majestic and Mowgli doing most of the work when it comes to putting down the pressure and creating the space for Qualifier to get big quickly.
Absolutely. And, you know, we've talked a lot about Qualifier and his impact that he's had on a champion like Sky, but I think this game is all about Majestic. He has been setting up these kills time and time again. He's been a driving force behind this early game dominance of Team Secret. And, you know, we may be wanting to rethink our predictions after this performance here, because Team Secret definitely look on the upper hand.
They do indeed, but Gankstars, they want to contest this gold mine. It is falling very low. That's the jump in. It does not get stolen away as Majestic finds it. That's going to be Techno knocked into the wall. Easy pickup for the side of Team Secret after getting that gold mine too. They're having a pretty big cash infusion as a result. Sitting at 14 to the 11.6. Qualifier might be searching for Leon here. Doesn't land most of the forward barrage though. So Leon is able to back away. But, you know, at the moment, he's a popper. He's pretty much just getting 1 back camp per rotation through the jungle. That's nowhere near enough. Emmer King, no way is Majestic just going to 2 versus 1 here. He's not. In fact,
what a great gauntlet!
Mowgli comes in from the side, finds that one. Leon wants Majestic. He gets him. The first kill for the side of Gankstars Cerberus. Can Qualifier get close enough? That's the Surrey strike. Uses that lock onto the camp in order to get there, and 1 or 2 more attacks should do it. Leon goes down to the Vanguard. Mowgli finds the kill. It's 8-1. Man, Team Secret, this is the best we've seen them looking in a long time.
Yeah, I don't think that Gankstars needed to contest that gold mine at this point. Yes, you know, that's a huge gold input for Team Secret, but you're just not in a position. You don't have the champion items. You don't have the hero item spikes that you need at this point in time either. Yeah, I know, I'm not even going to mention it this time. You don't have the hero item spikes that you need. So you don't have that Serpent's Mask. There was no real crystal power item there for Techno JJ. And realistically, you're not looking to fight at this portion of the game. You are more of a late game focused team. It's going to be the alternating current for Techno JJ, so it's going to be played a little bit more like you would expect Box to be played. It's not a all-in Hellfire Brew build. He does have that ability to deal a little bit more damage with his auto attacks. I really like this. Yeah, Leon.
Yeah, he's trying to hunt down Qualifier, but you've got to realize that the rotations are going to be coming in quickly for Team Secret. I just want to highlight something. Leon, you mentioned him being sort of the prodigal son, a prodigy. Emmer King, hang on. He's going to get jumped on. I'll get back to my point in a second as Majestic tries to find the kill and does. But you wouldn't be able to tell it from this game. Team Secret is making him look like just another player, and Leon has for what feels like an eternity been known as basically the shining star of Europe, the greatest talent in the region. This is an uncharacteristically poor performance. 1 for 4. He's just not having an impact.
Yeah, no, I agree, and he's going to walk straight into Majestic at this point in time. Going to have to Rose offensive or Rose defensive across the wall here to escape. And yeah, you're right, it's uncharacteristic from Leon. He's not looking the same person that we saw earlier in the day even. Something has definitely triggered in him. Admittedly, we did see him play a lot of Adagio today, and that was the champion that we saw him have great success on.
Arrow!
God, what? I've got worse. I have no idea how I've got worse. I think it's because I'm getting slightly fatigued.
I think you're tilted.
I don't feel tilted. If I'd already started that charity competition, I think I'd be out of pocket.
I think, yeah, to be honest, you would. I mean, you're still a medical student, right? You're not actually a doctor yet, so.
No.
Not making the big bucks just yet.
I'm a foundation, hopefully. Makes me some money. But anyway, enough of that. Hero, 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 and hero. That was my analysis right there.
Well, I mean, that was actually a few more heroes than there are in the game, so I don't know how you came up with that analysis, but boy, pretty solid stuff out of Excalibur right now. But let's get back to the game. 10 kills to 1 for Team Secret, sitting at 21,300 gold against the 16.7 of Gankstars Cerberus. Gankstars, the team who won the first qualifier for the spring season, the team who has looked unbeatable up until this point, up against Team Secret, who have arguably looked like they were in a bit of a slump since the championships. Hang on, though. Leon trying to come in from the flank, but he catches himself in a gauntlet. Gonna have to Rose offensive back here. Majestic wants Tetno, but he knocks him not quite into Qualifier. Gangstar Cerberus this time look like they should be able to repel the Team Secret hordes for the time being, but it's only a brief reprieve as Qualifier still very healthy, looking for the poke under the turret to try and get this push underway.
Yeah, and they should be able to siege onto this turret. They are going to just back out, however. There's not really worth going for the gold mine at this point in time. It hasn't built up too much in terms of a cash reward. And Team Secret, they're just going to count their chickens and head back and play it safer. You know, they don't necessarily need to overstep their boundaries right now. They've got a 5k gold advantage. That's pretty significant at 11 minutes into the game here, or rather 12 minutes into the game here, Jackson. So they don't need to rush things. They have the advantage in these fights. They should be able to just siege this down and potentially go for a fight.
Yeah, I mean, Team Secret, they're not facing many obstacles right now. I think it's going to be a little bit later in the game when they have to worry. If Tetno can hit one of those nuclear missile Hellfire brews, or, for example, if Leon can get to the point where he's a threat, then you know, things could change. But for the time being, Team Secret just rolling with the times. They are making great use of this glaive in the early game. It's gone for that Sarblade Tyrant's Monocle build. So much burst damage. And Qualifier with a Shatterglass first is also hitting like a truck.
Yeah, he's also heading towards what's going to be likely a Broken Myth. So Shatterglass Broken Myth is going to be hitting like a beast. Interestingly enough, you're not going to see the nuclear missile Hellfire brew yet, because it is that alternating current for Techno JJ. So he's realistic looking for the elongated fights, getting more auto attacks off than just being that one-trick Hellfire pony. But we will see, I think, maybe a Shatterglass coming out soon. He does have the Ellipse Prism as well as the Heavy Prism, which you know built into Shatterglass, so that potentially could be his next point of call for items. But obviously we know that they both build into a variety of things. Won't be surprised to see a Broken Myth either. But alternating current right now means that in these elongated team fights he should be in a good position.
Well, he's also just picked up that Shatterglass, so the damage is definitely there now. Look at the forward barrage from Qualifier, though, zoning Emmer King out completely. We do have a Crucible on Mowgli. It's going to be a great tool at dealing with the Hellfire Brews. Reflex block on both Qualifier and Majestic, too. So individually, they can solve that problem as well. Yep. It's going to be hard for Tetno to find an influential one. And look at this. Mowgli just using that gauntlet to easily take the turret as Majestic dives on the back line. Going to have to back away here. He is very low. Hellfire Brew lands and takes him down. Second kill of the game coming in at 13, nearly 14 minutes. Qualifier could be the third, too. Mowgli, I don't think he's going to find a return here. And that siege ended up backfiring very badly for Team Secret.
huge misstep, I would say, for Team Secret. I feel like they were using the gauntlet just to zone the enemy team away from the turret. But then, for some reason, they decided to use Majestic aggressively and send him in with the afterburn. I guess he was looking to knock someone into the gauntlet's barrier wall, but he obviously just missed, knocked them away, and then they were left in a really awful position. The problem was that Majestic drew turret aggro. They didn't yet finish the turret, so Majestic was taking huge amounts of damage, and then the Hellfire Brew finished him off. Yeah, he actually had Reflex Block available, by the way, and didn't use it. I think he would have gone down regardless. But, you know, there's just, I guess, a small tidbit. There is, like I said, I love the amount of Reflex Blocks we are seeing from Team Secret, because it is one of the better ways to deal with a Crystal Power Ringo. Just make sure that everyone has the option of blocking that Hellfire Brew. So it is nice to see that. I also like the amount of reflex boxes we're seeing from Gankstars Cerberus, because it is very, very useful against both the Glaive
hang on.
and... Oh, okay.
Look at this. Majestic, he is able to knock Techno JJ into the wall, finds the damage. Qualifier now just needs to kite back and spend some time in this fight. Emmerking likely to be the next target going down, but Qualifier doesn't get it. Emmerking, he's going to be able to back away. Mowgli trying to pick up Leon here, but with on point coming off cooldown so frequently, I don't know if Mowgli's got the damage. The scout trap, it's not enough. Gankstars Cerberus find their second fight in a row after being miles behind in this first game of the finals. They're looking to pick up a Kraken, and I don't see anyone stopping them.
Yes, and the interesting thing here is with that alternating current, Techno JJ becomes more of a threat if he's not dealt with after that Hellfire Brew. You know, if you have a Shatterglass first, then it kind of means that once that Hellfire Brew has been used and you block it, you aren't too worried about the outcome or what the Techno JJ will be doing through the majority of that team fight. With the alternating current, he definitely becomes a threat that you should really pay attention to. My issue is that Qualifier has been so aggressive with the positioning, he's putting himself within range of Leon on this Black Feather, and Leon now really starting to do some serious damage. You can see he's actually forgone going for a Cerberus Mask and has picked up a breaking point. So they are planning for elongated fights here.
They are indeed. Qualifier taking a bit of damage right off the bat here. Majestic does get some good return, but Team Secret needs to deal with the Kraken. Here comes the Hellfire Brew. It's going to get blocked. Good Crucible from Mowgli as the gauntlet goes down. Traps Leon in. Stops Techno from getting into the thick of things too. In fact, he does get stunned up there, but Majestic had to bail. He needed to go back to base. Play it safe. Emmerking stunned up by that death from above. Good damage here. It looks like it's only going to be that one turret going down to the Kraken. Team Secret are fairly healthy as well. If they can stop the backs from Gankstars Cerberus, maybe they can find an advantageous fight off the back. But they definitely need to be careful about the fights that they are picking. The last few not going very well.
Yeah, and as a Black Feather, you know, you have Rose Offensive, you can deal weapon power damage with a lot of your abilities as well. It means you stack up Breaking Point probably quicker than a lot of other heroes would do. Yes,
Good save!
Good save! You know, you stack up the Breaking Point stacks very quickly. So actually, you ramp up as Black Feather with Breaking Point super quickly, and then you basically have the ability to start doing some insane amount of damage. So I really see this working for Leon. I think this is kind of unique because every other Black Feather we've seen today has either been Shiver Steel or Serpent's Mask first. But Leon, going against the trend, picks up the Aegis and then goes into the Breaking Point saying, no, okay, I've got a plan here. I need more damage than the Serpent Mask can provide. I'm going to be lasting a little bit. I want to last a little bit longer in these team fights. And to deal with Skye, I need to hit her hard, hit her once, and hope she goes down. Obviously not literally once, but figuratively, I guess, you know, in that kind of sense, that he wants to be able to Rose Offensive with a couple of, or at least, you know, a good few stacks of that Breaking Point and say, actually, I am going to deal insane damage to Skye. And then she can't reposition because at that point she'll be so low or dead.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Right now, though, worth noting, Team Secret's still sitting in a gold advantage of about 3,000, so they are fairly strong. Look at the amount of infusions being picked up. Too many for the screen to hold at a single time. A lot of infusions. And you can see Gankstars Cerberus starting to make some aggressive moves here. Emmerking flaring out the bush. Does spot out Majestic and Mowgli. As a result, I think he's probably not going to go for the engagement onto Qualifier. Just going to be farming away some of these camps, stealing what he can. Kraken likely to respawn quite soon. In fact, as I say it, right on cue, it pops its head right out of the hole. And right now, Team Secret, they have to defend this Kraken. Gankstars Cerberus with one more Kraken push could probably end the game here. So it's a very important fight coming up. Emmer King starting to posture aggressively here. Might go for that attack of the pack. He's holding on to his trigger. Mowgli, the only target in particularly close proximity to Gankstars Cerberus, but Team Secret is going to shove up the wave and distract Gankstars from finding that engagement. It really helps that Team Secret has both minion mines right now.
Yeah, I think Eve of Harvest, it looks like it's going to be the next item for Qualifier. That'll be a huge item for her, for Sky. You know, it will give him the failsafe. Oh, okay.
Oh, Gauntlet! It gets 2 people stunned up there. That's pretty big, but it doesn't even matter. Qualifier gets melted. Majestic doesn't have the damage. Gankstars Cerberus have had critical mass coming into this late game. Now, they're not even looking at the Kraken. They're looking at the base, and they have time to finish. We've seen this time and time again. What a comeback from Gankstars Cerberus after an impressive early game from Team Secret. Gankstars Cerberus will take the first game in this series.
Look at how many stacks Leon got in that team fight so quickly. I think he had about 20 stacks within, I think, roughly 3 or 4, 5 seconds. 5 seconds, I think he had about close to 20 stacks on that breaking point. That is a huge amount of damage. That is ridiculous.
I've got to agree
Absolutely
with
ridiculous. And you saw he basically 2-shot Sky at that point. I really, really liked the item choice of Leon. They were banking on elongated fights because they looked at the composition that they saw from Team Secret and said, okay, Sky thrives, consistently looking to get forward barrages off, that she kind of does well in elongated team fights. Let's play that game, but we have Blackfeather, and as long as we have this breaking point, if I do get the opportunity and I've built up stacks to get onto Sky, she will die super quickly. I'm not looking to sustain with Serpent Mask, because if I am looking to sustain, I've already lost because Sky will burst me. I am looking to burst her back. And he went for breaking point. He said a couple of rows offensives. He builds up huge amounts of stacks, and then suddenly right on top of Sky, blows her up, and that brings them right back into the game. Gankstars Cerberus turning them around with finesse.
Indeed they did. Well, that was the first game of the finals. It was certainly an explosive one to kick things off, but we still have at least 2 more games. Can Gankstars